Hello, Detroit. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. What? Governor, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your support. Your willingness not only to support me, but to serve as one of our national co-chairs has sent a powerful message all over Michigan and beyond Michigan. So, Governor, when I hear that great line you say, just fix the damn roads, well, let's just fix the country. Because we can do that. You know, just over a week ago, the press and the pundits had declared this campaign dead. Then South Carolina spoke. Then Super Tuesday spoke. And the turnout was incredible. And now tomorrow, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, Idaho, Washington State, you will be heard. And Michigan, I'm counting on you in a big way. You know, Senator Sanders, as mother would say, God bless him, likes to say we're only going to beat Donald Trump by generating excitement and turnout. Well, guess what? On Super Tuesday, we turned out 70% more voters than ever voted there. And guess what? They voted for us. North Carolina, 19% more voters. Texas, 40% more voters. I can go on. Folks, look, he's right. We're going to turn out a Democratic Party. We're going to turn out a party that is supported by the backbone of this country. Look, the fact is that this movement we started and all of you are part of is generating an incredible amount of motion around the country. Folks, we can't create a movement without there being it powered by being people who have been the base of the Democratic Party. You know, I didn't. Are you with Donald Trump? That's all right. Let him go. It's not a Trump rally. It's not a Trump rally. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. The Bernie bros are here. Let him go. Folks, let him go. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Let him go. Let him go. This is not a Trump rally. This movement see, folks, look, this is what's wrong with American politics. It's got, let them go. Folks, Look, I'm not worried about it. It's just a reflection of what's wrong with American politics today. Look, so folks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. Folks, this is one of the things that Donald Trump has generated. This is not who we are. It's not who we are as a party. It's not who we are as a people. We got a lot of crazy folks around. Look, to every person, I'm sorry, folks. I know. Well, look, to every person who's been knocked down, counted out, left behind, this is your campaign. We need you. We need you. We want you. We want you to be part of our campaign. So join us. Go to joebiden.com. Sign up, volunteer, contribute if you can, but we need you badly. We have to unite this country. Folks, if you want a nominee who will not only beat Donald Trump, but keep the House of Representatives as Folks, look. You want a nominee who's going to beat Donald Trump, keep the House of Representatives, win back the United States Senate, join us. You want a nominee who's a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Obama-Biden Democrat, join us. You want a nominee who will bring the party together and not tear it apart, join us. We're building on a coalition of the most successful president of our lifetime, Barack Obama. And we're going to do it. We're going to do this by bringing America together of every ethnicity, every race, every gender, every economic station. Folks, look, we're going to unite Democrats, Republicans, and independents of every stripe. That's what the nation needs. We got to bring the country together. And folks, and that's going to matter here in Michigan, because this is a state we have to win in November. I spent a lot of time when I was vice president here with your incredible leader in this town, Mayor Duggan. Mayor Duggan is a hell of a guy. He knows what he's doing. And I can tell you, we work side by side, fighting to support this city. Matter of fact, the president asked me, he said, I want you to help Detroit, but he didn't expect you to go live there. But folks, look, I've always believed in Detroit just like I've always believed in Michigan. During the Obama-Biden administration, we launched the Great Lake Restoration Project. We invested $2.5 billion, help mitigate pollution, protect endangered species, habitats throughout the region. The biggest investment in the Great Lakes in decades, and it's delivering incredible results. Revitalization of the waterfront, all across the Great Lakes. And ladies and gentlemen, we're drawing in new businesses. Resurgence of tourism and activities like fishing and boating on the lakes. Folks, you are the greatest source of fresh water in all the world. So look, I've got a long history of not just talking about what I do, but actually delivering for Michigan. And I'm so proud of the campaign of so many Michiganders who've joined us, from Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, an incredible and dynamic young politician whose height is only exceeded by his character and his political prospects. And yes, the incredible women leaders you elected, from Brenda Lawrence to Haley Stevens to Lisa Slotkin, who used to work for us in the administration. There are some amazing women who helped win the House in 2018, and we're going to make sure they're going to be reelected. It's important you reelect every one of these women. Folks, I think we've been delivered to a moment where we can not only defeat Donald Trump, but we also have an enormous opportunity. If we think big enough and bold enough to build a future this nation needs and deserves, making health care affordable and accountable, ladies and gentlemen, by making it accessible for every single American, lowering drug prices, ensuring no surprise billings, protecting rural hospitals that are closing because they can't live on just Medicare reimbursement. You know, we should be building on Obamacare, not scrapping it. Investing billions of dollars to find cures for cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. Standing up and beating the NRA and the gun manufacturers. I've done it before, and I've beaten them nationally, and I will do it again. Leading the world to deal with the existential threat of our time, and that is climate change. I was part of putting together the Paris Climate Accord, and I want to tell you, first thing I will do on day one is rejoin that accord. And summon the major polluters to the United States of America and say, it's time to up the ante. We have to up the ante. We're 15% of the world's problem. We will get to net zero emissions, but the rest of the world, if they don't, it won't matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to demand the whole world come with us. Ensuring the quality of public education so it doesn't depend on your zip code. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no need for us to leave anybody behind. By tripling the amount of money, what they call for Title I schools that are underfunded, we can pay teachers the salaries they need to stay. We're already short 150,000 teachers today. If we don't do something quickly to make their salaries competitive and compatible, what's going to happen? We're going to be down 300,000 teachers by the time we get to 2025. Look, ladies and gentlemen, making sure if we do this, we can send every 3-, 4-, and 5-year-old to school, not to daycare. And when we do that, all the studies show at the great universities in this state and around the country that it increases exponentially their prospects of going on and going all the way through school and going beyond school. Ladies and gentlemen, reducing student debt, reducing it because it's an incredible burden. Paying all those who engage in public service, including teaching, get up to $50,000 reduction in their teaching, in their student debt. Folks, that's who we are. That's who we have to be. You know, America's leadership around the world has to change. This is a president of the United States who's embraced every thug and dictator in the world, pokes his finger in the eyes of our allies. Not a joke. From Putin to Kim Jong-un, ladies and gentlemen, we got to repair our alliances. I've met every major world leader in the last 40 years because of the nature of my job in the United States Congress and Vice President. I don't know a single solitary one who wouldn't trade places with the United States if they could. But guess what? This president is treating NATO like it's a protection racket. We'll honor our commitment to NATO if you pay me more money. Look what's happening in Asia. We're in real trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to bring the world back together as well. They need us. And folks, we have to make clear to our allies we can be trusted again because we've lost the trust of so many of our allies around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we have to also build an economy that rewards work, not just wealth. Because let's get something straight. Wall Street didn't build America. You built America. The middle class built America. And unions built the middle class. Unions built the middle class. So, folks, you know, my dad used to have an expression. He said, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. And I really would say this. A lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about your place in the community. About your sense of your own self-worth. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay. Think of all the people you know in your old neighborhoods who don't think they can say that to their kids today. The middle class is getting crushed. The working poor are getting poorer and poorer with little way up. Folks, we have to rebuild. We have to rebuild the middle class, the backbone of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where it's all about decency and dignity and giving people a sense of who they are. Folks, that's why I'm a Democrat. That's why I became a Democrat. This election isn't a battle for the soul of the Democratic Party. It's a battle for the soul of America. Folks, look, you know, I thought when those folks came out of those fields carrying torches down in Charlottesville, close your eyes, picture what it was like when you saw on television. Their veins bulging, screeching anger and hate, chanting the same anti-Semitic bile that was chanted in the streets of Germany in the 30s, accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan, carrying Nazi flags. I wrote an article saying, for the Atlantic, saying that we're in the battle for the soul of America. And we really are in the battle for the soul of America. And folks, in this most perilous moment, winning means having to unite the country. You can't define for me who an American is based on ethnicity, based on gender, based on race, based on national origin. You can't do it. We're unique. We're an idea, the most unique idea in all of history. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, or we the people, in order to form a more perfect union. No other country has ever been founded on an idea, and we are. And this president is trashing that idea. The way he divides us, the way he is using us to sow division and anger. And folks, the instinct is, a lot of my colleagues say, the instinct is we just got to fight back and be as angry as they are. But presidents not only have to know how to fight, they have to know how to heal. They have to know how to heal. And folks, we not only have to beat Donald Trump and his fellow Republicans who are aiding and abetting him, but we can't become like them. We cannot become like them. I refuse to accept the notion that we're in a perpetual state of war with the other party. I refuse to accept the notion that, in fact, the only way we can get something done is by crushing the other team. Folks, we can't get much done if we do that. We have to be ready to heal, and we can't become like them. We have to heal our divisions, or else our democracy is going to be in real jeopardy beyond what it is now. Look, our children are listening, and our silence is complicity. Just look at how Donald Trump talks, the way he treats people, the way he demeans and demonizes people, the way he ridicules people with infirmities. We haven't ever had a president like this, really and truly, never. He has a corrosive effect on this country and on our children, You know, the Washington Post reported in a long article that said that we're already seeing the reports in schools of kids mimicking the behavior of the president. That's the phrase, mimicking the behavior of the president, bullying other kids, using the same kind of language Trump uses, singling out immigrants for ridicule and harassment. But what did we expect? Because our children are listening. What did we expect? What do we think was going to happen with this man in the White House? When teachers try to deal with this kind of behavior, is it any surprise that kids would say, and this is the report of a study done by the Washington Post, well, the president does it. Look, the words the president utter matters, no matter who the president is, for either good or for bad. And the words he utters have had a corrosive effect for real. And look, folks, you know, I've said it many times in this campaign. We're going to be able to overcome 4 years of Donald Trump with a little bit of luck. And we're going to make sure that our kids read about it in 10 years from now in this high school as an aberration in history. But if we give him 8 years, he'll fundamentally change the nature of who we are in a fundamental way. Folks, the world is watching. The world is watching. They're looking at us and saying, what in God's name is going on in America? As I said, he's embraced our enemies, walked away from our closest allies. But we've got to change that. The whole world knows, so they know once again the United States can be trusted. That's a critical ingredient for our security and the economic as well as political security. Folks, future generations are watching, and in the years to come, they're going to look back. They're going to look back at this moment, and they're going to say, when it mattered most, what did they do? What did they do? Did they save our democracy, or were they part of the problem? And now, at this moment, when there's so much fear in this country, when we have a circumstance where, in fact, American leadership is called into question, we need honest, trusted, truthful, reassuring leadership. And look, and that's what, if I'm given the honor of being president, I promise you I will provide to the nation and the world. So folks, it's time for America to get back up and once again fight for the proposition that we hold these truths self-evident, that fight for the notion that America has to lead the world and lead Americans to this new place, this new generation. Look, I view myself as a bridge, not as anything else. There's an entire generation of leaders you saw stand behind me. They are the future of this country. They're the people who are going to... Look, when I announced my candidacy in Philadelphia, and I said that I wanted to do it in Philadelphia, where the Declaration and where the Constitution were first unveiled and unfurled, I said I wanted to do it because although we've never lived up to those aspirations, we've never before walked away from them. We've never before walked away from them. And folks, I believe with every fiber of my being that we have the capacity, every single generation, save this president, every single president has moved that arc of inclusion wider and wider and wider and wider. We can't let it shut down. The days of Donald Trump's divisiveness are soon going to be over. And when he's gone, we'll come back and get back on the road of building that more perfect union. You know, we're only a little over a week from St. Patrick's Day. So it's only appropriate that I quote an Irish poet I admired, Seamus Heaney, he's just passed away. He wrote a poem called The Cure at Troy. And there's a stanza in that poem that goes like this. He says, history teaches us not to hope on this side of the grave, but then, once in a lifetime, that longed-for tidal wave of justice rises up and hope and history rhyme. We have a chance to make hope and history rhyme. But folks, we've got to remember who we are. This is the United States of America. Folks, there's nothing we've ever failed to do when we set our mind to it. Everybody knows who Donald Trump is. We have to let them know who we are. We choose hope over fear. We, Americans, choose unity over division. We Democrats choose science over fiction. And we choose truth over lies. So get up. Let's take this back now. There's nothing we can't do. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. We can do this, so get up. Take it back. It's time. It's time. It's time. Thank you.